The Premier League season starts on Friday night. Arsenal are playing Coventry. And so what I'm going to do in this video is just go through the biggest myths surrounding these clubs in the Premier League, because there is a lot of myths going on right now. Because you all don't know ball, okay? You all are waffling, and I'm going to show you the real truth, okay? So for each team, the biggest myth that isn't true, and we're starting off in alphabetical order, because that's the natural order, with the Arsenal Football Club as the champions, and the biggest myth is that they are guaranteed the title. Now, before you shoot at me, before you shout, I know I predicted them to win it. And I do believe they win it by about 12 points. But this idea that Arsenal are guaranteed and they're going to walk it isn't necessarily true. It could happen. It definitely could happen, absolutely. But I feel people writing off this title already are a bit stupid, because if we're being honest about it, now, I'm in a win-win situation here because I predicted Arsenal to win the league. So whether I'm right on this sort of doesn't really matter to me. I hope I'm right, because I don't want Arsenal to win the league. But they're not guaranteed the title for two reasons. First of all, well, they're sort of combined into two at one, but set pieces, the rules are changing. What you're allowed to do is not the same this year. They've cut down on it, and you can't do it in the big part of Arsenal's game. It was a massive part of Arsenal's game last year, and if they want to win it again, they're going to have to either find a new way around these set piece rules, which I feel by October, the league will probably forget about them. But that's not the point. And then also, another one is that I feel when they are attacking, they're just looking a little bit toothless. Maybe Tzolis will help with that. I know he did sick out in Club Brugge, up the Bruges. And I do rate him. I like signing on Bruno Guimaraes as well. But from a forward point of view, Gyökeres ain't doing it for me. Victor Gyökeres is not doing it for me. Bukayo Saka, his new trim is dusty. And he was a bit of a poor year last year. I didn't think he was great. So I don't believe it is a certainty that Arsenal win this league, just because Arsenal going forward now, I'm like, are they there? I don't think they're there. I still worry about them from a goal scoring point of view. Obviously defensively, there's no denying best in the league, and that's not going to change. But there's absolute question marks over this Arsenal team, and we're not just going to jump over them or forget about them because other teams have even bigger question marks. Aston Villa. Everybody seems to believe that because they have Unai Emery, they're going to get Champions League. And it's ludicrous, because Unai Emery is famously bad at one thing, and that is balancing a Champions League campaign with a Premier League campaign. Look what happened last time they were in the Champions League. They couldn't balance it. They couldn't cope. Once they got knocked out of the Champions League, then the form started to pick up again. I don't believe Villa get Champions League football this year. I don't think they get top 5. I have them 7th in my predictions, which I posted yesterday, I believe, maybe the day before. That for me, it has to be like, it's possible obviously, but it has to be like a big shock, like a big fall off from one of the bigger teams for Villa to get into that top 5. I'm talking a Liverpool City fall off that is completely unexpected. Don't get me wrong, structurally they are nice, but the XG again is a bit of a concern. They scored a lot of screamers last year. It's good vibes, fun to watch, but is it sustainable? And they've lost their set piece coach, so it's a hard. There's a couple of reasons there. I'm just putting waffling there. So for me, Villa are not guaranteed Champions League football because, we got Unai Emery, and he's not the best manager in the league. We're just waffling now. Bournemouth, the loss of Iraola means they're going to fall off. If you genuinely believe that, when he's going to get his head checked, because Bournemouth, under Eddie Howe, under Gary O'Neill, we'll forget about Scott Parker, and under Andoni Iraola, performance. Everybody went, why are you getting rid of Gary O'Neill? They brought in Andoni Iraola, and he was 10 times better than Gary O'Neill. And now you look at Marco Rose, what he's done in his previous jobs. I like him a lot. He's very similar to Iraola, obviously a few differences, but he's going to build on what Iraola's done. And with their model, there is no way Bournemouth get this wrong. There is absolutely no chance Bournemouth are anywhere near the bottom of the table. They will be comfortable mid-table, and the Europa League will probably stop them from pushing for Europe, but Bournemouth will be absolutely grand. They'll be absolutely fine. There is no feeling for me that the loss of Iraola is going to have a massive impact. If they'd lost like a Ryan or a Creepy, I know Creepy's out for the first half of the season, but if they'd lost some of them, maybe it'd be a bit bigger. But the fact that they lost half their team last year, like the whole back line, and they still just able to keep going, then I think they'll be fine. They'll be lower than last year because they had a ridiculously high finish, but there'll be absolutely no struggle at all for Bournemouth. Brentford, and I was struggling with Brentford because I feel like no one cares about you, no offence. But I've gone with the idea that Keith Andrews is some top coach. I don't know if people even believe that. And the reason that I don't believe he's a good coach is because I just feel it's to Brentford, similar with Bournemouth. Brentford have a very, very nice structure around the club. look at Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank did awful at Spurs, right? It's too big a step for him. Keith Andrews he's just working on the work of the club. He's building on what the club have done. Whoever comes in, they're going to do well. The recruitment is so good that they're going to do well. Then he signed this year. Is it Sangaré, the one from Lens? Is that his name? Top quality, okay. Brentford will always have some gems you don't know about as well coming in. They're a top quality run club. Top quality, the way they're run. But I don't believe Keith Andrews is a top mastermind coach. He's okay. I can't see him ever getting a Premier League job again. So I would say this way you can, Keith. But yeah, fair play. Brighton, easy top half. Everyone is saying Brighton top half, and I just don't know why. There was rumblings towards the end of last year about Hurtzler. Fans getting a bit upset with him. I believe they will get Europe through winning the Conference League because that's just a given. I mean, it's absolutely easy, but it will take a lot out of the squad as well. Look at how Palace coped with it last year, not too well. Obviously, it'll be worth it in the end if you win that trophy. And I do believe Brighton will be around mid-table, but lower mid-table this year. I don't believe it's nailed on that Brighton finishing that top half again. They've got European football. Last time they had that, they struggled. Chelsea, they have an elite forward line. Everyone's talking about this Chelsea forward line. Rodgers, well, we don't know who's going to be on the right wing, probably Neto. Then you got João Pedro, Cole Palmer. Now, individually, barring Neto, they are all top quality, don't get me wrong. But as a unit, I'm not sold on it. I'm not sold on the idea of João Pedro and Cole Palmer together. Not really sold on them as a duo. I don't think they work well together. I feel they often want to take up the same sort of space, and I think they're both top quality, although Cole Palmer was a bit tired last year, so maybe it was a little bit of that. But last year I didn't feel they worked well together. And I also don't know how it's going to work with Rodgers as well, who also likes to get in those spaces. I imagine Rodgers will play on the left. I haven't watched Chelsea in pre-season, so I don't know where he's been playing. But yeah, for me, I'm struggling with the whole idea of this Chelsea forward line and how it's exactly going to work. I think Chelsea are going to have a great year. I do. I think they could win a trophy, and I believe that they will get Champions League football again, but it's just about finding that forward line to work together. And defensively is obviously the big concerns. You know my thoughts on Sanchez. Jesus Christ, fix your goalkeeper, buy a goalkeeper. I swear to God, I'm not even a Chelsea fan. I don't like Chelsea yet. Davinson Sanchez gives me a headache. He does my head in. He's atrocious. Please replace him. But the forward line for me isn't as good as people are making out. You know, I mean, individually, yes, just as a unit, I'm not sold on it. Coventry. Everyone is saying that Coventry are the promoted club with the best chance of staying up. I don't believe that. I don't believe that squad is anywhere near close to the level of the Premier League. I feel like every year people go, oh, the team that won it, they have the best chance of staying up. They don't. I'm getting serious Burnley vibes. I said this in the prediction video, sorry for repeating myself. But I just don't believe that they have what it takes to survive at all. And I think there's a different promoted club that have a better chance. I just don't see it with Coventry. Lampard is a good coach, no denying it. He sort of needs to, I don't know why, but it feels like there's a need to prove himself in the Premier League, although he did a great job first time at Chelsea. But I can understand it. Second stint at Chelsea didn't work, and Everton was an interesting time. So I can understand why he sort of needs to prove himself in the Premier League, but I don't think he can take Coventry any further. Palace, everybody seems to believe that Palace are comfortable and safe. Don't be surprised if these lot are in a relegation fight. Europa League's a killer, and they've lost a lot of players. They've still got enough, and I'm not saying that there will be. I don't believe for 1 minute that Palace will go down. That's too far-fetched for me. But don't be surprised if they're down there. Adam Morton, Mateta, yes, top quality. Munoz as well, I really like, big fan of him. Other than them, I'm not really sold on the team, I'm going to be honest with you. Obviously, I don't know much about the manager. I know he did a good job in France, but whether that will convert to Premier League, it's always hard to know. But yeah, don't be surprised if Palace are down there. They were really poor back end of last season. Let's not forget that. It got real toxic. I know Glasner's gone now. But there is absolutely not all sunshines and rainbows over there. That's for certain. Everton, that David Moyes is safe. I don't believe David Moyes is safe at all. The fan base was sort of starting to turn end of last year after they bottled European football. I think it's like 12th, whatever it was. And I'm not sure they're winning him back yet. Obviously did a great job coming in at Everton. He has, no denying it. But I feel, well, his contract's up end of this year, so I imagine this will be his last year, whatever. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone mid-year, or if he does leave end of the year, it gets very toxic, because I look at that squad and they've got quality in certain areas going forward. I'm a bit like Leicester, Beto, Thierry Barry, not sold on. Right back, you do need to buy one. But David Moyes, I'm not overly sold on. Fulham, we're staying with the theme of managers. RBO is a good appointment, is a shocking opinion, and if you believe that, I would like you to consider never watching the sport again. Go and take up volleyball, Go and take up fishing. I don't care what you do, to be honest with you. Horse riding, I couldn't care less. Just get away from football. Arbiola is a shocking appointment. He's the first manager sacked, I'll say it. He's not even proven himself. I don't know where he's got the job from. He did an awful job at Madrid, and I feel like he's got the job because it's Madrid, right? But let's face it, if you whack me in charge of Madrid with all those players, we're going to get some sort of result. It's Mbappe against a bunch of Spanish farmers. Obviously, they're going to get results. He didn't do a good job. He did worse than Xabi Alonso, who everybody was crucifying. So I'm not sold on him as a coach. Oh, well, this was impossible because nobody believes you'll do anything. And I'm in that boat, to be honest with you. So I couldn't really... Is there any myths around Hull? I don't really know what to say. Everybody thinks it's a shithole, but I agree with that as well. There's nothing really to talk about with Hull, is there? You are as bad as everyone says. I'm sorry, lads, but enjoy the championship. Ipswich that they're going to go down, necessarily. I don't think they will. I say I don't think they will. I predicted them to go down. So I'm already hypocritical. But I believe there's a better chance of them two than the other two by a mile. Gary O'Neill's a good coach, knows what he's doing, strong Premier League manager. And I thought he was very unlucky at Wolves to get sacked. And he was very, very unlucky to lose his job at Bournemouth. I felt at Wolves, though, it was more like VAR just against him. They had a personal vendetta against Gary O'Neill and can't do much about that. It's a manager that knows the league. It's a team, a group of players that mostly know the league. Jalen Philogene is a nice little player. They've got a couple decent players in there. So I'm going to back them. I'll say it now, if any promoted team stays up, it'll be Ipswich. Leeds, they're going to be down there because they're not. They're going to be near top half. Leeds, they could get top half. They're absolutely got more than enough. I would question marks over the manager, yeah, and question mark over maybe where the goals are going to come from. But I'm fairly happy with Leeds. I look at them and I think that's a really nice team. Harry Wilson, great addition. James Trafford, a top quality goalkeeper. England's future #1. Great signings all round from Leeds. I'm 10 out of 10 window. And you're not going to be near the relegation fight. Liverpool, I'm already seeing people write Alexander Isak off. I'm not sure why, because this year he's going to explode. I'm going to say it. Alexander Isak, second place in the Golden Boot. Obviously, Erling Haaland's the winner. Can't do much about that. But Alexander Isak will come second in the Golden Boot. This year, he explodes. This is the year of Alexander Isak. He's going to explode this season. Watching pre-season, Iraola's getting him involved. In the past, it would just be under a slot. Oh, well, he can stand there if he likes. And obviously broke his leg, so didn't really get a chance to bed in. He's had a full pre-season now. Alexander Isak is going to be the Newcastle Alexander Isak that Liverpool paid 120 million for. Man City, this idea that the transition will be smooth, going to take time. Maresca's a huge drop-off in quality. A huge drop-off. You've lost Rodri, lost Bernardo Silva, John Stones. These are key pillars of Pep's team. That treble-winning team is long gone. Erling Haaland's looking around. He doesn't know what's happened. Why did he sign that 10-year contract? No one knows. But I do know that Maresca is going to take time. I don't necessarily think he's an awful appointment. I think he's all right. I don't think he's great. I believe there's better. I wouldn't be surprised if he's replaced in a few years by like a Vincent Kompany. For me, they'll be comfortable though. Absolutely comfortable. Top 4. But yeah, I'm not sure they'll have enough to really put in much of a title challenge. It's not going to be easy. First half of the year especially, they're going to drop some points. Man United, I'm seeing people talk about United for the title. What are you smoking? Can I have some? Because that is a ridiculous claim. Carrick is the most overrated manager in the Premier League. Carrick is a worse manager, like CV-wise, than like everyone in the league. Who hasn't got a better... Like, if you're going for CV, 2 of the promoted clubs have a better manager than Manchester United. What are we doing? Like, Carrick, once he's going to get found out, he's going to be sacked in... let's pick a month, shall we? March is when Michael Carrick will say goodbye. He'll get sacked and United will fall back into their doom and gloom. They can't compete. Look at that defence. Look at it. It's far too open. There's no chance anyone survives that. It's simple. Carrick's gone and there's not much you can do about it, really. Seeing people talk about Newcastle in a relegation fight. No chance. Absolutely no chance. They'll be fine. Obviously, they've lost players and it'll take time. They may have a slow start to the season, but Newcastle will be absolutely fine. And there's a good chance they get Europe. I don't believe they will, but I would not be shocked if they did. I think they'll be in and around it. I think they'll be absolutely fine. There was no chance of a relegation fight. Newcastle are not going down. Forest, again, I'm not seeing much talk around Forest because they're a bit boring. Everyone's saying that the Anderson loss will have a bit of an impact though, and I don't think it'll actually have, or feel like maybe is a better way of saying it, as big an impact or as big a loss as everybody believes it will. I'm not sure if that made any sense. That might not be an English sentence. But I just feel that with Glasner coming in, with signings like Diomande. They've kept Morgan Gibbs-White, who for me was more important than Elliot Anderson. I believe they'll be fine. They'll be absolutely fine. Elliot Anderson, you're obviously going to feel some sort of loss when you lose that good of a player. But there's far. If Gibbs-White had gone, I'd be talking about a relegation fight. But they've kept Morgan Gibbs-White, and for that reason, I can see them getting Europe. He's that good of a player. Sunderland, this idea that they're safe. No, relegation is a real possibility. Second season syndrome is going to hit you like mad. You've also got Europa League to deal with, which is going to kill that squad because that squad is thin. So, yeah, I don't believe that Sunderland are safe at all. I don't believe they will go down, but I think they'll be down there. They'll be bottom 5, guaranteed, certain. Spurs, are they going to struggle? No. I just realised Spurs are the last team. What's going on? Where's all the W's in that? There'll be an Asian. Yeah, Spurs for me, yeah, you're going to do well. I got to Spurs getting Champions League football. I believe they are that good. De Zerbi, I don't like him. Okay, I hate the bloke, but he's a good coach. And they've got a decent team. So for that reason, I believe Spurs will be fine. They'll be absolutely fine. Obviously, I think if they get Gakpo in, like, I'll banter aside now because Cody Gakpo is the worst footballer to ever play the game. But I've got to keep that motto up for life, okay? It's just part of the act now. If we're being honest, though, he is better than Savinho. If they get Gakpo, that is actually guaranteed goals. As much as on the eye, he makes you want to put bleach in your eyeballs. He's fairly effective. Savinho is just shocking. Absolutely shocking. I don't really know what he offers. I'd rather postman Pat on the wing, to be honest with you. I'm not really sold on him. 2 goals in what, 2 years? Something like that? Yeah, he changed his name and I don't really know why. He was better with Savio. Go back to it, lad. But yeah. So if they get Gakpo, I think top 5 easy. Which is a weird sentence to say. It does kind of baffle me that they went and saw Liverpool's left-hand side of Gakpo and Robertson and went, I want that. Like, I can't fathom that. It's appalling. Also, if I start seeing Cody Gakpo using the overlap of Andy Robertson, Arne Slott's going to be getting death threats. And for legal reasons, that's a joke. So, yeah, there we have it. End of the video. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that cool stuff. Yeah, fun, have fun. Yeah. See you stuff on Friday. Woohoo. Commentary, do something for me. Commentary, can you do something for me? Yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Goodbye, farewell, au revoir, peace.